One of the things I have aimed for this year is restarting my Use It Up year. Hi, my name is Dawn Dalton. I am an indie author with a day job and a new puppy. And a couple of years ago, I started a challenge that I called the Use It Up year. I had been seeing a lot of people do no-buy years, and as much as that intrigued me, I also wanted to have the ability to buy more stuff if I needed it. And so I came up with the Use It Up year, where I picked a few things that I wanted to use up, and I wasn't allowed to buy more until I had reached a certain number of that item being gone. And I did this at the time because I just gotten done working at a warehouse that had just bought a truckload of Target notebooks and folders, and all the employees were allowed to buy them for super cheap. And as an author who does a lot of my work by hand for at least the first couple of drafts, I jumped at the chance and bought so many notebooks to the point where I was just giving them to my friends' kids, and just trying to give them away because I had so many. And even with that, I still have quite a few left. So in 2023 and 2024, I did Use It Up years, where I tried to use up all of the notebooks, all of the lotions, all of the pens, all of the stuff that I've been hoarding, and trying to make it more manageable. For 2025, I let go of that idea, and I had reached a point where my pen collection had mostly been wrangled. My washi tape fit in the 3 drawers that live next to my desk. My notebooks were still a little bit chaotic, but were becoming more manageable. And I decided that 2025, I have a good enough handle on all of this stuff that I shouldn't be buying all that much. But if I want to, I can buy new notebooks, new stickers, new pens, go to the pen show, learn that I actually like fountain pens, all of that fun stuff. And what I learned from 2025, if I don't have something regulating my buying habits, I end up with a ridiculous amount of stuff really, really quickly. So for 2026, I am restarting my Use It Up year. And for now, most of what I'm going to be tracking for this Use It Up year is going to be writing planner supplies, because I have a ridiculous amount. I may add to this list as the year goes on, but for now, I only have 6 things that I'm tracking. And one of the things that I am tracking is for every 2 that I use up, I am allowed to buy 1. But for categories like washi tape, if I want to buy a 6-pack of washi tape, I have to use up 12 rolls. So that's where the challenge is going to lie. So the 6 things that I'm going to be tracking this year and using up are my washi tape, because it no longer fits in the 3 drawers that I have allotted for it. And I don't want to allot more space, because that way lies hoarding and overconsumption, and I just want peace in my space. Sticker sheets. I have a lot of sticker books and single sheets, and I want to use up as much of it as I can. Again, they're taking up way more space than I feel that they necessarily need to take up, and I do kind of want to see what all I use up inside my planners, inside my notebooks for this year. Notebooks. I am a handwriter for at least my first couple of passes on a book. So I should be going through notebooks. I have set up 9 notebooks for my stories this year, but a story takes up more than one notebook. But I also have journals and all of the really pretty ones that you don't want to use because you might mess up the prettiness. But if I don't use it, what's the point of having it? Next one is pens. Again, I love my Pilot G2 pens. That's what I primarily write with. I do like them because I can switch out colors between stories, which helps me keep my stories straight. So I know, okay, teal is this story, maroon is this story. Purple is what I use the most in my day-to-day life. It's what I write in my planner with. But I also learned that I like fountain pens, so I do have a bunch of cartridges for my fountain pen of choice. So that is another thing that I need to be using up. Every time I use up a cartridge, I'm going to count that as a pen, just for simplicity's sake. Candles. I normally light candles when I write, be it unscented, just to have the ritual of, you know, this is the time I'm sitting down to write. I am focusing on my writing. But a lot of times I am also picking up scented candles because this scent evokes this book. So a coffee scented candle for Roll of the Dice. I have a violet and moss scented one for another story that I'm working on. And I do have a tendency, especially if it's one that I know is a limited scent, that I will pick up extras and then my candle area is overflowing. So I do need to use those up as well. The last one is single stickers. I know I've already talked about sticker sheets, but I also buy a lot of individual stickers. And I'm always worried that once I use it, I'm going to regret where I put it. And I do need to get over that. One of the things with that is obviously a lot of times single stickers come in big bulk packs. So again, if I want to buy 100 pack of stickers, I have to use up 200 single stickers. I probably will add to this list as the year goes on, as I find other things that I have hoarded that I need to use up. But for now, I am sticking to those 6 categories. And hopefully you'll join me in destashing some of your stuff. I'm hoping that in 2027, I can go through what I have left and find somewhere that I can do a swap or just give them to somebody who will actually use them. A lot of my writing this year has been very slow already, if you can't tell by the fact that I can't even make it through a short video because this little monster always thinks it's playtime. So, if you've been enjoying watching me try to use up a lot of what I already own and try to balance having a full-time job, a new puppy, and an author career, be sure to feed that algorithm, boop that like button, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.